Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
21.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, you know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
On second down, Connor looking for space. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, this defense for the Rams, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Murray now. Forced out to his left. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. Murray flips this forward on a jet sweep.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. Prater's kick is good, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out in the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing.
Second and 16.
Hey! 22! Go.
Back to throw, Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And the Rams at 6-2 to start play. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners are 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Second down and 3.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And no return here for Westbrook. This will be a touchback.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That one good for 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
Uses the stiff arm.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
32! White!
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
Hey, play low!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught by Kupp. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams have got it back to within a score. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns. Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain. And there's the beauty of Kyler Murray because we all know he can get it done through the air. Terrific right arm, and nowadays we don't even talk about his height anymore. He's shown that he can see downfield and make throws, but he also possesses wide receiver speed. He can call his own number or scramble and turn it into a big play as well. Kyler Murray, a dual threat at the quarterback position. It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Back to the air on second down, it's Murray. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Rams will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's Conner on the read option. And some room to work. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
From the 39, Murray over the middle. That's hauled in by Isabella. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first and 10 is Conner. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Murray going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion for us there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
A give up the middle to Akers.
Bulldozes past him. 7 yards there and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Going right back to Akers.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. So into Cardinal territory now. It's first and 10 at the 43. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That's good for 28 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They move the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for...
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Cam Akers with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Rams have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will put them on top here in the third. touchdown. It's Gay to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Here's Murray. And this one caught by Max Williams. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Dancing away at the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Throwing is Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
They'll give this to Akers running right.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Akers is into the end zone. Touchdown, L.A. So an important drive for them there. And they're not home, but momentum, Charles, definitely in their favor now.
And I like the point you just made. They're not home yet, but a one-point game, and if you kick the extra point, make it an 8-point game. Only one score, but you're right. Momentum definitely in their favor right now.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It was Troy Hill that time in on the tackle. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. That last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now Murray's got to have this one. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. There he goes, right side. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
On the handoff, running left is Akers.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A give, running right is Akers.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
Now a give, Akers running left.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Now they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Stafford. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 41.
Oh my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Murray to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Wait a second. That's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he's got some space here.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 125 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense defense on the sidelines. Let's close this one out.
So the LA Rams with a victory here, and a little bit of a surprise they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle. As a